Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your boy again, Samuel. I'm sorry I've been away for some time. I've been studying for one exams and so on and so forth. But I'm back again, and today I brought a very interesting topic on how to study. Now, a lot of students have asked me, okay, Samuel, how do I actually study? How do I actually study? And I've been noticing some mistakes they are actually making, and today I want to actually point that out and give tips on how to avoid those errors. So, stay with me, guys. Now, the first tip I'm going to give you guys is avoid multitasking. Now, a lot of students are actually doing this, and I myself I actually did this. And multitasking is just where you are actually studying and you are thinking of doing something else, or you are actually doing something else actually. Now, this is going to actually confuse your brain because you're not actually going to put much focus, the kind of focus you actually need to study in studying. Now, your mind is going to be diverted. You're going to do one thing, you want to do one thing, you want to do one thing, and then you are studying in the middle of that. Now, you're not actually going to give that much focus that you actually need to study. Now, how do you deal with this kind of problem? Now, first thing is, I think you should actually get those things done before you actually study. Now, it could be maybe what you're going to buy in like 2 hours times. It might be what you want to do in this. You want to do that. Now, get those things done. Then after getting them done, then you can actually study. Because if you decide to study, now a lot of people will be okay. Let me study first, then I will get those things done. But it's not actually right because even when you are studying, your mind is still always going to be in those things that you left. So you have to get them done instantly, then after that, then you can start studying. My second tip is create a daily habit, a study habit. Now, I know it's really hard for a lot of people. I know, and I've actually seen a lot of people. They will create these habits. They will like put some time to go. Okay, today I will study. Tomorrow I will study. Okay, let's say some people actually, especially when they are new to studying, they will be like, okay, I want to study for a whole of today. I want to study for a whole of tomorrow. They want to study every time. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, but you should actually um space out time. You should actually give yourself time. Now, create a daily habit doesn't mean you have to use the whole of the day to study. You could study for 2 hours. You could study for 3 hours. I myself, I don't study for 6 hours. Now, when I was new to studying, that was when I started studying. I would study for 6 hours, study for 8 hours. When I get up, it will look like my head is about to explode. Now, you don't actually have to study. You creating a study habit means, okay, for 2 hours in a day, you could study. You could study a topic. You could pick a topic, okay, in 2 hours time I'm going to study this, in 3 hours time I'm going to study this. Now, let not 3 hours be 3 hours for every single day that you're going to study. You don't have to study for 6 hours. No, you don't actually have to study. You could study for just 2 hours and it's enough for you to write whatever thing, write whatever exam that you want to write. Now, another thing is space repetition. Now, I've actually said this during the study habit and I'm going to give more emphasis on this. Now, a lot of people when study, they want to study for 6 hours, they want to study for 4 hours. Now, I told you studying for 3 hours is okay, but I don't actually mean you should study for 3 hours straight. You could give yourself 10 minute break. You could give yourself 5 minute break. You could give yourself 2 minute break in between those 3 hours. Because by the time you want to overwhelm yourself studying English, you want to study this, and those things are very very overwhelming to your brain, especially if you are new to studying. If you're new to studying, you need to cut those things. Even though you have been studying for a long time and you want to study for 4 hours, you can't study 4 hours straight. You will actually kill yourself. Now you have to study for at least 30 minutes. Give yourself at least 5 or 10 minutes break. You can study for 20 minutes, give yourself about 3 4 minutes break. Because when you try to study for about 4 hours, the end of the day you notice that you are not actually getting anything. Now, I like I said, when I first started studying, I started with about 6 hours, 8 hours, and so now one thing I did was I gave after 2 days or after a day, I noticed that I was not actually remembering anything that I've read. Now this was because I was actually just packing everything into my head. I was not giving my brain time to process those information and understand what I'm actually studying. Now you study for 4 hours, your brain doesn't actually have time to process this information and store it in the long term memory. Now if you study for 4 hours, and it's not a bad thing, but the truth is your brain actually put those information in a short term memory because it sees it as irrelevant information because you are not processing that information. Your brain is not actually processing that information. So to it, it's an irrelevant information. Then it stores in the short-term memory, and the short-term memory is just like 1 gigabyte. After you download 2 3 music, it's full. Now what your brain does is it filters those old information, and those old information are what you have actually read and you have kept in your mind. Now, when it gets to a certain amount, maybe before 2 days, your short-term memory is full, and your brain has to filter those things. So give yourself space repetition. Give space repetition, as in take breaks in between those study. It could be 2 hours, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, but at least let them be breaks in between those time. Another tip is try answering questions. Now I've seen a lot of students where after they, I actually do it, not no, I shouldn't lie, I do it myself sometimes. After answering a question, after reading the topic, I feel like I want to actually study something else. And let me just drop this question. This question might be easy. Now, it might look easy, but those questions will actually open your mind to some certain things. I remember when I was studying for, I think, for an exam, and when I read the topic for the exam, and when I got into the exam, I was like, the thing that was actually a bit confusing. Now, when I went back to the question, I think years later, when I went back to the question, after reading the question, after reading the topic, when I went to the question, I noticed that some of the questions were actually advanced, and it opened my mind to some concept that I actually didn't know that were actually in the topic. Now, some textbooks would actually put some questions that they know that they have not given an answer to. They want you to make research on those questions. That is why these questions are actually there. You will notice that sometimes when you answer this question, you will get some points you can't answer them. Not that you don't know it, but because they have put it there for you to make research. And when you're making research, your mind will be open to those um, available questions, available answers rather online, and you will know this particular thing. So try answering questions after a topic. You could take your a past question, a textbooks or whatever. You could take it, answer questions, and whenever you answer that question, when you know that okay, out of 90, out of 100, you're able to solve 95, then you know yes, I'm good to go. Then you can drop that topic and pick something else. So try answering question after. So guys, these are my tips to help you study smarter for an exam, and these are the tips that have actually worked for me, and hopefully it worked for you. And thanks for watching the video. Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. See you again next video.